All right, guys, I'm so excited to announce that this year's Doodle for Google is in. They have their new topic for year 2020, and they're wanting us to start off this year right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to skip over to Google. I'm going to type in Doodle for Google. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to click on it right here, and that's going to show us this year's topic. It says here, I show kindness by ... friendship, smiles, thank yous, and hugs. But kindness is so much more than just being nice. This year's theme for Doodle for Google invites you to tell us how you show kindness. Is it by helping around your home? Volunteering in your community green space? Maybe it's comforting someone who's down or picking up trash in the park. However you define it, let us know how you bring a little bit more kindness into this world. Take your ideas and bring them to life in your Doodle for Google. So that's our theme, is how do you show kindness? I show kindness by ... What does that mean for you? That means something different for everybody. For me personally, that means that in the summer, I go and I show kindness by volunteering 4 weeks of my summer to cook for a youth camp, for a children's camp. And so that's what my theme is going to be. Before I do anything else, I'm going to go into the search bar and I'm going to type in Google logo. Then I'm going to go to images. I'm going to pick the very first Google logo there. That's a good clean logo that I'm going to be able to put underneath what I'm working on. And that'll be a good start. Okay, now that I have my printout of my Google, I'm going to take a blank piece of paper and I'm going to think about my idea. Am I going to have something that's going to go outside the letters? I put my blank piece of paper here, I'm smoothing it out so that I can see the Google underneath. And I'm thinking, what could this be? This is going to be the hardest part, is thinking about the idea, the thought. What is the kind thing? How do I create kindness in this world? And how do I illustrate that? And how do I turn it into something that maybe kind of looks like Google? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to look 100% like the letters. We know that from the past pictures that some look like the letters and some don't necessarily. So it's okay if it doesn't look exactly like the letters. All right, I got a blank sheet of paper and I have my Google letters underneath. What could this capital G be? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the cook. Maybe I have this arm that's like this, and I have a hand here with maybe a spatula, just like this. And I cook on the grill, so I'm going to maybe turn this into a Weber grill here. Although we don't cook on a Weber at camp, that's what I'm going to make it. And maybe there's some smoke coming up. Okay? Now the other O, what could that be? The other O. Maybe the oven, and maybe that's the part of the oven that you're looking inside of. Now this is going really fast for me, these ideas, but that's because you'll see in a second, I've already thought these ideas out. This is the hardest part. It's going to take probably an entire class period just to think of the ideas of what could these letters be. The lowercase g always seems to be the hardest one, and I could not think of anything. So I just put a G there. Later I'm going to come back and I'm going to decide maybe this could look like a basketball, and maybe this could look maybe like a butterfly, something like that. And it's going to be this sloppy. Your first draft needs to be this sloppy. Maybe the L is a girl. And maybe the E is a boy, and maybe they're both eating, you know? Maybe he's crisscross applesauce, and maybe he's eating some soup, and maybe she's eating some soup. That's my idea. Then I'm gonna spend a whole lot of time and a lot of erasing, and I wish I would have shown you this process, because I'm gonna put another blank sheet of paper on top of my ideas, and maybe I just put the ideas above me and I put a blank sheet of paper on the Google again because my ideas are probably pretty sloppy. So I put it on top of the ideas and I winded up coming up with something that looks like this. This is pretty refined. This is pretty good. I'm also an art teacher, and so this is might be a little bit better than what you do. Maybe it's not. Maybe you can come up with something this good. But quality is still necessary. So even when I get it to this point, I'm going to put another blank sheet of paper on top of it, and I'm going to clean it up. See all these erase lines? I have erase lines everywhere because I reworked this and re-erased. So I'm going to put another piece of paper on top of that, and I'm going to trace over it. And I'm probably going to trace it with maybe a pen so that I don't get any more smear lines. Maybe I use a pencil. I used a pencil here. And then you need to start coloring it, but that is further down the line. The most important part is the idea. You can see in some of my past pictures that I've created, I've used the Google colors for each one of my letters. So for the first thing, I used blue because the G is blue, and then yellow, and then red, and then green. I would maybe color this basketball green, but the grass is definitely going to be green. And then, oh, the L is green, isn't it? And then red. The last person is red. But I would look at the Google letters if I was coloring this and maybe try to mimic that. All right, it is your turn to try to come up with your idea. Let's look at some student work that I've had create on the first day. This is some first day work. It's not finished, it's not polished, but here's a girl holding another girl's hand. She's being kind. And she wrote some words on here like smile at someone. I don't know if this is gonna work in the end. It's kind of maybe not working. We'll see. Here's someone helping someone cross the street. They're rough ideas. That's the point, is that they're not going to look 100% finished yet. I don't want yours to look 100% finished yet either, but in the end, we can't stop here. We've got to go for some quality. We've got to finish up with something that looks really clean and nice and polished, and that is going to look presentable for the Google committee. And remember that you are trying to honor yourself in your artwork. You're trying to push yourself in your artwork, and you're trying to convey your idea. And if it's not a clear idea, if you can't clearly see it, then it's not going to be clear to them either. While I'm talking about keeping something clean and clear, let's talk about coloring. Because I can't tell you how many times students have created an amazing piece, amazing drawing that is just awesome, and then they trash it up with poor coloring. Make sure that you have a color scheme. You know what colors you're going to use. Sharpen that colored pencil. Don't be lazy. Don't use a dull pencil because you're too lazy to get up and go sharpen it. Go sharpen that pencil. Make it look nice and neat. And don't skip all over the place. You can see here I'm skipping all over the place, coloring in every different direction, leaving lots of white space behind my coloring. Don't do that. You're going to turn a piece that could look really nice and you're going to throw it all away. Don't do that. Take your time. Stay in the place that you are until it's 100% colored. And do not put away that color until you're 100% done using that color. I can't tell you how many times kids put away a color and it's not completely colored. There's a lot of white space in between, a little bit of scribbling, and they're like, oh, I need to go back and color that, and they pull out the wrong color and mess it up. Don't do that. You've taken all of this time to make an amazing artwork. Now finish it up strong. Finish strong and color it really nice and neat. If you have a really clear piece that everyone can understand what it is through a drawing, don't mess it up with poor coloring. All right, I know that you're excited about this. I know I'm excited about seeing all the pieces that are coming in, and I don't think there's anything left to say other than I'm excited and I can't wait to see your piece. Thank you very much for working hard. Let's go.